Hi everyone, and welcome back. So yeah, it's an Apex related video before the Season 7 starts, of course, on the 4th of November. So this one is just a little bit about preparing decision making and improving a little bit if you are still playing Apex before the new season, and just attempting to, of course, make better judgments. So a lot of these clips are just little things where, of course, there's some good decisions and some bad decisions that I've made. I'm able to luckily analyse by watching the recordings back, and of course you can learn from pretty much various mistakes and right decisions that you make, and that's pretty much how you get better at the game, isn't it? It's just by continually playing and continually learning by those errors. So my name, of course, is Dratlaw44, and before I do get into the content, do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. Right, well, let's get into it. So you can sort of see in the background there, I'm playing Mirage, which I don't play as much this season, or I haven't played this much this season. A bit of a novelty factor, and apparently he's going to get some buffs in Season 7. Are any of you looking forward to that? Let me know in the comments below. So basically, I ran across, I ran out in the open. I did take a big risk, actually, trying to get to a building where a blue armor body shield was, and luckily I didn't get killed. But was that the right decision? Probably not. Looking back, what I should have done is ran down the steps, so I got the lower part, I ran underneath, and then come back up into the building that I'm in now, up these steps. Again, just little things that you can analyse and say, was that a right move? No, it wasn't. I mean, luckily it didn't get me killed. But however, you just look back and you think, well, I could have done that better, because the guy that was shooting me had height position, and he could have quite easily killed me had he have been a bit more of an accurate shot. Luckily, he kind of missed me, and hey, it worked out. But, you know, this doesn't always, and it's just little things like that you've got to look at in your gameplay. If you're looking to improve in Apex, there are so many things that you can sort of do. It can come down to the minorest of decisions that can make such a difference to whether you win or whether you lose a gunfight, whether you survive or whether you don't. And that's what Apex is all about. It really does test your skills. Now, don't get me wrong, I mean, there are a lot of things that go into the game, and there are a lot of things that could be better, which I've sort of mentioned, but, you know, fundamentally, you've got to have that understanding of the game, because otherwise you're just not going to succeed. Now, I mean, practicing recoil on weapons is always a key thing. Using overpowered weapons like the Devotion, well, that doesn't hurt sometimes, you know, especially if it's a weapon you find at the beginning. Being patient and not pushing by yourself, that's a mistake that a lot of people do. Even my good friends and myself, I hold my hand up, you know, have done, and sometimes misjudging situations to being much worse than they actually are. And that is kind of a scenarios that I'm going to be encountering in this video. So we're basically in this building, the team is outside. I go round, I see that there's a Crypto, so of course, being that he's on this by himself, I'm going to take him down, I'm going to finish him off, grab the body shield, try and swap. I would loot quickly here. This is probably not the quickest looting that I could ever have. I back off because I realise there's someone there, and I use then my ult. Now, I could have waited maybe slightly, but, you know, it didn't seem to really fool anyone, but luckily I managed to get the clutch win out. Kill the squad, great. Now, for some reason, I revived the wrong person, which again is an error that I could probably look at. I then use a Phoenix kit, assuming that my friend JHD is going to get my friend Viper up, but he doesn't. He quickly grabs some loot, and of course, we left now a man down. This was not very good communication, so always a good communication within your squad if you are playing on mic is a really, really strong and key thing. Now, this point is where I make a bad choice, so I go running up the steps. I don't realise that there's an Octane hiding behind a box. Now, you wouldn't have seen him, he was very well hidden, but again, I tried then to use my ultimate, but he seems to totally guess which one it is, and he seems to manage to shoot every single decoy very easily. Again, a very, very bad decision. Now, in enclosed areas, unfortunately, it is very easy with Mirage to have all the decoys in one place. I'm pinging, the guy had to back off because, yes, he was low on health, and instead of thirsting for the kill, he did actually push for JHD. Luckily, he manages to down him, kill him, and wipe out the whole squad, so we do survive on that occasion. But you can see how finite it really becomes, especially when it comes down to just noticing things, looking around you, making decisions, all those sort of things. Now on this occasion, JHD actually revives me because he has a gold backpack, so he wants to give me the health and the shield. Right decision on that occasion, very sensible. Probably the better decision would have been to give it to Lifeline, but then again, just like anything, it's one of those things. Now this one is where we hear some firing. It's all about timing when it comes to taking down some squads. So we're playing duos, we hear someone getting killed, literally before the guy even gets to loot, take him down with the Vault. Job done. Very, very cool. Now, we don't realise actually that there's another person, so I scan with the Bloodhound. I try and gain positional as to advantage as to where. I do miss some shots and I try and gain round, but I already get hit by the bullets. Now, as you can sort of see, gaining positional, I managed to shoot round. I'm a little bit kind of curious about that, but that's another video. I seem to shoot around a corner, not sure about that one. Now this one is hearing a replicator, so someone is replicating, gain the height position, absolutely shred him with the R301, great gun when you can use it correctly, and of course now the Bloodhound's down. I can see straight away he's got a white shield, so there's no worry of a safe revive. Do a scan, work out where the Bangalore is hiding, straight away there. Now I do go running up the steps then to try and gain position. I beat the hunt it to try and pretty much gain the advantage of the permanent scans. Realising that I'm in a bad position and I've lost my shield, I switch position and then switch down the steps. This is of course in Market in Kings Canyon, and I decide then to flank. Now meanwhile Viper is going to go around the front, keeping him distracted. So I run round then and of course go for the flank. Now unfortunately the only one thing I will say about this is that don't try and do it. I missed some shots initially, which is where I should have killed that guy on the first burst. I missed, which could have cost me. Luckily I managed to kill him before he gets a chance. Job done. Now this particular clip is of course a different one, so again we're back with JHD as well as Viper, not playing duos this time. You can see that there is at least 2-3 people. We try and gain height position. I try and pretty much burst fire the Hemlock from quite a distance with a sort of hollow scope. I can't really hit targets that well from that distance with the hollow scope. Some people can, they're very good, but I don't really tend to attempt it. Now I try and move around, I try not to stay still, try to sort of like keep moving, because like I said, keep moving, always keep moving. It's always a sensible thing when you're doing fights. Now I mean I get hit, I back off. I would love to get the revive, but I know that I'm in a bad position, and of course then I try and heal. Now one key thing here is that knowing that there's no one pushing, small shields are the way. If you're in a much closer encounter and you have bigger shield batteries, use them, they're quicker. But if you're like not being pushed, you're not being shot at, use the small batteries first. Much better, especially in that kind of situation. Now I cover some fire just to give Viper a little bit of time to back off and heal, and of course then we go ducking around the rock. Now something I should have done here is that, you know, seeing that he's got syringes, I should have dropped him a med pack and a big shield, and that was a mistake from me. Always, if you're with a team, you're like communicating with a team on mic, you know that they're going to be reliable. Give them a med pack, give them the big shield batteries, because you never know, that could be the sort of difference between life and death. And now, as you can see, because Viper didn't have any shield, he gets downed. Now we're on a 2v3 situation. JHD manages to get one of them down, which is fortunate. Literally, as I say, I managed to down the Bloodhound, actually, thankfully, and then I kind of like go for the kill, but then I realise that that is a bad idea because I'm being shot at, so I back off and I heal a shield battery. This is for the quicker encounters. I know that there's someone coming up for a revive. I know it's a lifeline because I can hear the med thing going, the drone. I then decide to down the lifeline because of course I can flank behind the tree using cover, and of course my friend is pinging, so I can realise that he's healing, and of course I managed to take him down. Now that was very clutch. Now I do go for the revive here, and I then get killed. So the only mistake was probably not running away and kind of healing up, and then if worse comes to worse, going back and getting their banners rather than getting killed and getting the squad wiped. Now here we're waiting for sort of people, we get shot from behind. I literally like decide to back off and jump down. There's a nice little corner down here, a rock. Someone unfortunately on the other side could see me at the time. That's who we were aiming at originally, but you know, hiding in the corner there, of course I can heal up. Now this is kind of a very difficult decision. I know there's a squad below, I know that someone was shooting up behind, but I don't know how many people there are. Viper couldn't tell me whether there was only 1 or 2 people, so what I do is that I wait it out and I continue hiding in this position. Now this was a horrible situation because of course Viper as a result gets killed. It's not a nice feeling, and I'd have much rather been supporting him, and had I have known that it was only one person, I would have pushed. maybe that would have got me killed, but maybe it wouldn't have, and it's one of those things. So there's little parts within this kind of game that, you know, is so finite that really makes such a difference within how you play, how I play, and how you get better. Do I feel like I'm getting better as a sort of like player and making my better judgments? Sometimes yes, but I can still watch replays back and still literally like roll my eyes up and think, what the hell was I doing? Why did I make that decision? What made me go there? What made me do this? When I stream, sometimes I watch a little bit of my stream, like for the worse games, because I like to kind of work out what I'm doing wrong. I know that there are some problems right now with the game, especially with PS4 lag and things, so there are some things that you just cannot do anything about, and that includes things like audio. But there are things within the game that you really can, and that kind of is a big part. So I wait it out. I realise that, of course, whoever it was has run away. I literally decide to quickly just check the boxes. I don't really like losing my friend, but he's dead. I can't really do a lot for him, so I just try and grab what I can and get the hell out of there. Now, I do know that there are other people around, so I don't want to stick around too long. Of course, the storm is also coming in. As I run sort of past the trees, I actually realise that there is someone still around. It turns out to be the Wattson that killed Viper. I aim down sights, can't really strafe very quickly, so I do choose to do that still because I use the Hemlock, of course, with the range and everything, and I then quickly decide to try and grab the red shield. I should have grabbed the backpack quicker. However, did manage to get it, but then I duck cover. Now, I use a big shield. Why? Because the storm's coming in, so I want to heal up my shield as soon as I can, and then continue to keep moving. Literally duck cover behind here, realise I've got time to do a syringe with the storm, it's not moving that fast, trying to just keep out of sight as best as I can. I don't use another syringe, I just duck cover behind the rock. I realising that the people around the cage are distracted, I then continue running, of course, out of sight, and then use another syringe. So just little things like that. I mean, it's obvious in a way, but, you know, sometimes you can go for full healing, sometimes that is really going to take too long because the healing is so slow, and it can get you killed. Now, my final thing before I end the video is that one last decision that I did wrong, that I look back and think, what an idiot. Failed to realise that he was being shot at by another team. I attack the Octane and do the classic stupid thing. I push for the kill. Now, I think that this is his teammate. That's why I continue fighting. I don't realise that, of course, that there is more than one, and it leads to my eventual demise. Silly mistake, you learn by it, and I should be more aware. And that is something that I will end the video on, is awareness. Definitely be aware of your surroundings, but try and be aware of other teams, and try and make sort of decisions that involve you not getting yourself killed. So that is it for this particular video. I've got another video lined up for tomorrow, which is a full match, showing again like more decisions and things like that, which hopefully will kind of follow on this one before Season 7 starts. I hope this helped. If you did like it, drop a like on the video, it helps me out, and if you did want to subscribe, help me towards my goal of 100, that would be amazing. But otherwise, do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. I shall see you in the next video. You take care, and all the best. Cheers now. Bye-bye.